Nods accompanied many affirmations. Mary Elizabeth tuned out the conversation. How would they even survive? Stories of tragedy abounded for those who had ventured across the ocean, and to start a whole new colony, there wouldn't be stores or supplies or anything. A shiver raced up her spine. Even though they were often looked down upon by the Dutch because they were outsiders and resolved to live out their faith in ways that went against the norm, she'd felt at home in Lytton. To be honest, it was the only home she remembered. But her people had worked menial jobs and longer hours to support their families, and times were getting tougher. A poke to her shoulder made her look at Dorothy. Her friend's face lit up in an exuberant smile. She raised her eyebrows. "Can you imagine the adventure?" The words floated toward Mary Elizabeth in a soft whisper. What? Had she missed something important? The pastor's voice echoed through the room. "It's decided, then. We have chosen the first group to go." As they waited for the room to clear, Dorothy filled her in on the families who had ventured to the New World. Dorothy's family, which made her even more animated than usual as she talked with her hands, and the Chapmans, Mary Elizabeth's family, were part of the group. Mary Elizabeth went numb. She didn't register anything more that Dorothy said. Even as they walked home, her heart couldn't make any sense out of the jumble of words. Dorothy must have recognized something was wrong and followed Mary Elizabeth home. "Mary Elizabeth, what is going on in that head of yours?" Lifting the latch to the door of her home, Mary Elizabeth clamped her mouth shut. "Don't shut me out. Aren't you excited about all this?" She turned and stared at her friend's eyes that sparkled with excitement and joy. Why couldn't she feel that way? Dorothy's warm hand reached out and covered her own. "Come, let's get some tea and discuss what you're thinking. My parents aren't expecting me home. I told them I was staying over with you, and as long as I'm there to milk Polly in the morning and feed the chickens, I should be able to stay as long as you need me." All Mary Elizabeth could manage was a nod. They entered the door to the small room she called home. Familiar smells greeted her. Running a hand over a chair her father had carved, she let the feel of it seep into her soul. How could they leave all of this behind? Heavy footsteps sounded on the stairs, causing Mary Elizabeth to jump and put a hand to her chest. "Father!" Releasing a sigh, she looked down at the floor. He didn't know where she had gone, did he? "I need you to stay with David." His face was alight with anticipation. "I have much to discuss with the elders." "Is there anything I need to know?" "Not yet, my dear, but soon, very soon." He kissed her cheek and strode out the door. Dorothy pulled out a chair and pointed to it. "Sit. It's time to destroy this fear and doubt that I see etched all over your face." Tears sprung to Mary Elizabeth's eyes. They burned as they overflowed and ran down her cheeks. Dorothy stayed up with Mary Elizabeth in the kitchen, talking about the meeting until daylight crept in through the windows. While Dorothy's voice held excitement and wonder, Mary Elizabeth felt only worry and fear. Her friend quoted scripture and hugged her, told her it would all be all right. God was in control. This was a good thing. But what would become of them? Too many of their group were elderly and would have to stay behind, and the elders made it clear that only so many could make the journey. That meant only a small fraction of all the people she'd known the whole of her 17 years would venture across the vast ocean to the unknown land of the New World. "Mary Elizabeth," Dorothy placed her hand over Mary Elizabeth's cold one. "Mary Elizabeth, have you heard anything I've said?" All she could manage was a nod. "I just need some time." "All right. I'd better get back home. The chores won't get done by themselves." Her cheery voice did nothing to soothe Mary Elizabeth's nerves. She doubted anything could. "Mary Elizabeth, may I go play with Jonathan?" Her little brother pleaded the same thing almost every day, and she always said the same thing in response. "Have you finished your chores?" He nodded and smiled. She tousled his hair and handed him his cap. "Be home in an hour." "I will." Brushing her hands on her apron, she watched